like all the fucking little fake casinos out here.
Oh god, Maddie's Delis.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
the delis. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like trying to remember what they were always like. Yeah, Matt and like isn't there like a Charlie's Deli or something, or maybe I don't know.
They're always called something deli
Something
or like
deli.
stop and go, and like it's like stop and go. That does not look like a market, and it's like, no, it's just a fucking brightly lit VLT room with a guy in the middle who will sell you smokes.
Yeah.
I remember, like, when I first moved to Portland, you could still smoke in those places. So,
man.
Sometimes me and my roommate, when we were really drunk, we'd go down there and, like, buy a pack of smokes and, like, a fucking six-pack of fucking Rainier or something. Because you could buy beer, like, cheap beer there.
Yeah, they had cheap beer.
Yeah, and, like, it wasn't taxed at all,
Well, yeah, because, again, they're, like, little casinos. They just want you dumping money into those machines and staying there forever.
Exactly.
So, like, yeah.
So
we'll
they'll
just keep
sell
the
smokes and beer at cost.
Keep the beer cheap.
Yeah.
No, the only time I've ever gone into one of those places is back when we used to go to Laundromat, over on Powell, where the Winco is now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I don't even think there's a laundromat there anymore. But we used to go to a laundromat there, and right next door was one of those little fucking delis.
Yep.
And
when you're, I think now it's a Subway and a pho.com.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, pho.com. But yeah, when you're doing laundry, that place was fucking a godsend, because you're just oh man, we got an hour to kill. Let's go fucking burn a $10 bill and slam 2 PBRs.
And that's why they were there.
Yep.
Captive audience.
Man, I don't know if I've ever told you this. So, I'm not a gambler.
Me neither.
Thank Christ.
Well, okay. I feel like we both need to establish a caveat here, which is that we both play Magic, which is technically like a good portion of that is gambling.
Yeah. No, and I've got the itch. I don't have it bad, like I'm never going to become, like, I like my money way more than I like the thrill.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I understand math a little too well to actually believe that I'm going to get rich.
Well, this too, right? But yeah, I mean, I've always had the itch, even as a kid, because I loved, I think we were talking about this last time we hung out, like, I fucking craved, like, booster packs of cards, right? Because it was little kid lottery tickets, And, I mean, all the way back to football cards. Like, I collected football cards, then I became more nerdy and got into Magic cards, and then comic book cards.
Oh, yeah.
And just had fucking cards coming out of the ears of every fucking variety, to the point that I started shoplifting packs of cards, because it was like, I needed the little booster pack fix.
Ouch.
And that was all I, like, ever really shoplifted, was, like, cards. The lost episode, the lost live episode, which maybe we'll revisit someday, talks about our shoplifting excursions. But,
right. Oh god, that's right.
But this is the quick story of when we moved out here. So yeah, I've never really gambled. I mean, a little bit, but we moved out here and it was like, holy shit, there's fucking just slot machines like in the bars. Like, we just go out to a bar and just slot machine right over there. Like, okay, that's kind of cool. And so our very first night, it was like the second night we were here, we like walked up to what's that place on Sandy that's like shaped like the rum bottle, but it's it's like
Club 21?
No,
Sandy Hut?
Might have been Sandy Hut. There's like a strip club, and then there's another little spot that looks like a rum bottle, and maybe the strip club is shaped like the rum bottle, and they had the marquee that said warm beer, cold girls. And I always loved that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But we went into this place and grabbed a beer, and then we were like, oh shit, dude, they got the slot machines over there. You want to go throw a couple bucks in there? Yeah, and we like dig a couple singles out of the wallet, and yeah, I mean, I think we put $2 in, and then we hit like $70 off of that. And we had just moved out here, so we were like, dude, we could really use all the money we could get. So like, that was so awesome. And then we just like didn't play it. We just like put the $2 in, cashed our 70, cashed our bar tab, and like left.
Dope.
And like, hell yeah, well that's awesome. And then maybe like 3 months later, we went down to Space Room, and it was the same deal. We were just there for a couple pints with a friend, and then we were like, oh, you want to go throw a couple dollars in the machine? And I think we like put a 5 in, and we hit like $180 jackpot on it.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And,
wow.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. Dude, it's so funny. Ricky's like, holy fuck, we won $180, and like screaming about it. And I was like, psst, psst, like,
yeah, right?
Don't announce to the fucking bar that we're that we just got a bunch of money in our pocket.
Right.
But yeah, but that was funny. And so then we were kind of like, okay, so I guess we're gonna gamble, but only just randomly and like very little amount, and then we'll just hit.
Right.
And then that stopped bearing out because we did still even to this day, every now and again, be like, you want to throw a 5 in there? But we never hit anymore.
No, and I mean that's the thing. Like I fucking, I don't know how many times I've played video lottery, but it's not many, and I can probably count on one hand. There's one time when I went to a strip club in the middle of the day with a friend of mine because he was on the outs with his girlfriend, and he was like, "Man, will you just go to the strip club with me? I just need to see some titties." And I'm like,
man,
dude, you're aware of how fucking sad this is, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Come on, man, like I'll fucking pay for your drinks," and I'm like, I mean, I'll get day drunk with you, I guess. Like, what am I gonna... Like, you know I ain't got shit to do.
Go
like,
check out the day strippers. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, granted, it was Sassy's, so, like... Or wait, is Sassy's here in Portland?
Yeah, that's one
So it wasn't
downtown,
Sassy's.
yeah?
This was in Eugene. It was, like, the one good strip club in Eugene, and, like, I say that with a big grain of salt, because there weren't any good strip clubs in Eugene.
Well, Eugene could probably only support like 2 or 3 maybe at best.
Now it could support 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Back then it was like maybe 1.5.
Yeah.
And this one was widely considered to be the only good one. I wish I could remember the name. Anyway, so we go in there, and the day crew's fine. You know, it's like not like sad like it is in other places.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
It's just some college girls who are like not at the top of the totem pole, so they were just working the day shift to like clean up the scraps. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And so, you know, like homies like tipping on the stage,
Not at the top of the stripper pole.
Yeah, okay, no, but you know he's up at the rack and he's tipping, and like I'm just, you know, I was there for a minute, but I'm just like, man, I'm not feeling this, and I'm like I think there's 1 or 2 other homies there, so I felt like it wasn't a big deal if I fucked off for a minute. So like, I'm just gonna go put a 5 in this machine and see what happens. I can't watch this fucking sad spectacle anymore. I think it was because we'd already done 1 lap, and like the same girl from like an hour ago was coming out, or like, you know, half an hour ago or whatever it was, and I'm just like, whoa, they lapped us? Oh shit. No, I'm not sitting through another round of this, you know. So like I get up and I put a 5 in the machine, and I think I was playing come on, brain, the poker game.
Oh sure, just one of the video pokers.
Yeah, it was like 5-card stud or something like that. Anyway, I was trying to think of a different poker game name, but it doesn't matter.
Like something's wild.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I was playing
wild. It's wild.
Yeah, I was playing poker, and I ended up with a flush.
Nice.
And I turned 5 into 50.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, well, I wasn't actually trying to make money, so what do you do when you hit it on the fucking VLT?
In the strip club.
In the strip club. I'm pretty sure you just spend it all on strippers and drinks, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody in the history of ever has walked home from the strip club with money left over,
exactly.
like in your pocket.
Yeah.
So if you've already hit on the fucking lottery machine, then like you're just gonna have a better night at the strip club.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, homie, like I fucking just got $50 off the machine. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. So I know you were gonna pay for all the drinks, but I don't feel like I can walk out of here with this money. And he's like, oh, dude. I'm like, yeah. So what do you want to do? He's like, can I get a lap dance? I'm like, whatever, man. Like,
you got it.
Fucking knock yourself out. And for some reason, he couldn't get a lap dance because it was like the middle of the day, and like I think it was shift change or something.
Oh.
So it's just like,
yeah,
no one was into it.
Yeah,
and,
they're like, I'd rather not.
Well, like we were the only guys there, and like they knew that we were super drunk, so it was just kind of like, I'm sorry, guys, but like next round's on the house, and we're just like, all right, we were gonna spend it all on fine, you know, like.
Man, that really says something when they're like,
yeah,
no thanks, actually.
Yeah, and so like I'm pretty sure like at that point I was just like, how do we spend all of this money in as few drinks as possible? So I'm just like, all right,
Shots of Patron.
yep, exactly. I'm fucking shots of Patron. Let's do it. And they're all like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool.
There we go.
We're gonna be out of here quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. You're like 4 shots of Patron.
Yep.
Keep the no change. I
Exactly.
guess.
And then it's like, okay, let's go get on the bus because none of you assholes are driving.
Yeah. Holy shit. That's so funny. Oh man. Yeah. I never went to my hometown I never went to Fort Collins Strip Club because there was only one, and no one ever had a good word to say about it. And in my 20s, the word was like, well, if you want to go see girls you went to high school with dance. And it was kind of like probably true, you know. Fort Collins wasn't that big, and odds were probably you'd see at least one girl you went to high school with.
That was literally what happened in Bend. Like there was one place that was like maybe okay, and it was called The Office.
Going to the office.
Yep, sorry, babe. Gotta stay late at the office.
Fuck.
Yeah, and I literally knew girls from high school who were dancing there. So
yeah, did you go?
No. Oh, yes, but I wasn't old enough to go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because, I didn't turn 21 till well after I moved away from Bend.
Yeah, that's true.
I moved back, but the office was long gone by the time I moved back.
Are they gone? I was like, man, next time we go to Bend.
Oh, fuck no. Like it.
Hit up the
There's
office.
gotta be a good strip club now, but I have no idea what it would be.
Maybe though.
One, and for the longest time, the only once the office was gone, the only strip club that was even really even a strip club was Stars, and I don't know if you're familiar with Stars, but it's a chain.
Oh no!
And they have talent that rotates throughout the chain.
Oh,
so there's strippers from Salem.
Oh, and you can look at the lineup and be like, oh, fucking Daisy Diamond's gonna be here next week.
Yeah, I mean that is a thing that you could do. They did have their headliners that would show up on the weekends and stuff, but their headliners were, you know, fine, but not what you're not. It's not gonna make you come back. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to throw too much shade here because
that's fine.
I'm very sex positive and sex workers gotta fucking make a living.
Dude, 100%. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm saying these headliners were not A-listers at other clubs. You know what I'm saying?
No, and honestly, yeah, we should throw that out. I'm also super sex work positive and all for it. That said, I mean, I'm totally fucked because the only strip club I've been to... Well, no, that's not true, and I'll actually tell the story of the other strip club I've been to, but the only strip club I've been to is Devil's Point.
What?
And it's just you just kind of peak once you go there. It's I can't imagine anywhere better. And granted,
yeah, okay, no,
they don't do the fire dancing anymore, but it's one of the first times I ever went to a strip club was... Or one of the first was Devil's Point, and they're doing fire dancing.
Yeah.
And it's just
Devil's Point is fucking lit.
And it's the ladies there are straight up athletes.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, they're punk rock athletes.
Yeah.
If you want a strip club that's my aesthetic, we got it, you know? I will say that, I've been to Sassy's a few times, and I don't know if it's still the same way that it was, but, there are women there who are fucking artists.
Yeah.
They did... I think they invented fire spinning there.
Okay.
First of all.
Nice.
Because, there's this Thai woman who does some crazy shit with, fire and nipples.
I am so sad that they banned all the indoor fire stuff in Portland.
It's probably a good idea, honestly, but...
It's fine. Come on, though. I don't know.
I mean, Daikaiju is,
Let people live a little bit.
But no, I'm saying you did peak with Devil's Point. I mean, and there may be one or two other strip clubs that are as good or maybe slightly better, but you're not really gonna need to do better than that. Honestly.
I'm not gonna find women I'm more attracted to than Devil's Point, and I'm not gonna find women doing the athleticism and just the sheer badassery of what they do at Devil's Point. Yep. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to disabuse you of this notion.
Yeah.
You're probably entirely correct.
And also for the listener, Devil's Point does stripperoke, which you can't even get into anymore.
And it used to be there was nobody fucking there. I loved it. we would go just shit can drunk and have a great time.
Yeah. I mean, it was the greatest thing. And, yeah, I mean, if you want to go stand in line for about an hour, you'll get
never
in.
sing a song, yeah.
Oh, and never sing a song,
Yeah.
which I never had any intention of anyway. But, like...
Dude, I've been there and sang, like, 3 fucking songs in a night before.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Like,
totally.
I mean, granted, this is back in, like, the late aughts, but still.
Sure. Yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. But anyway, for those who don't know, what it is you sing karaoke, but a stripper dances around you and gets naked and tries to, like, mess with you and, like, fuck your shit up. And it is hilarious.
Yeah, they usually leave their bottoms on, but...
Yeah, totally.
Still, like, you know, they're rubbing their tits on you and, like, trying to make you screw up. So.
Oh, and, like, touching you and, like,
Oh, yeah.
getting all frisky. It's
Oh, yeah.
real funny, dude.
Well, I love it because, like, that's the night where, like, I mean, you still aren't allowed to touch them, but,
Nope.
like, they are drinking,
Yep.
first of all.
Yep.
They don't have sets that they have to dance. And so, like, for them, it's just fun night, you know? It's like...
Yep, it's just fuck around night.
Yeah. There was a stripper who did a headstand in Amy's crotch and blew a raspberry directly onto her genitals.
Yeah, dude. I've seen many things similar to that.
Yeah.
Actually, Ricky did it, and the stripper took Ricky's shirt and, like, kind of, like, tied it inside out, basically, like, while they're on stage. It was a sight to behold. Yeah, and then I won't say his name, but one of our other boys who we play games with on Sunday nights did it, and he sang Deborah by Beck, and it was fan-fucking-tastic, dude.
Love it!
Oh,
that's wonderful.
Oh, man.
I got to give it up for anybody who can sing Deborah.
Dude, seriously, he did a good job, too. I was impressed. Yeah, that is not one I would ever fuck with.
I mean, you got to have a good falsetto.
Yeah, for real. So, one more quick strip club story, and then we can get into it, I guess. Or just keep talking about strip clubs. I don't know. Maybe it's the strip club episode.
I don't... I mean...
I don't think I don't have
I'm
much
on the
more to
fence
say about it.
Yeah, and I'm on the fence about needing a strip club episode,
No,
but...
we definitely don't. Right before I moved out here, we went to this show, and this is like all came back to me because it was a quite drunken night, but it all came back to me recently. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think we went down to this strip club to see one of our friends' bands play. Oh yeah, here, let me explain this strip club. This place in Denver. I don't even know if they're still open, but they were called PT's Club Inferno. And
okay.
it was this 2-story massive building, and I couldn't even tell you what part of town it was in. And upstairs, it's a punk club, and they've got a stage, and it's like real divey. Everything's dark and dingy. They must do stripper-esque stuff up there, and maybe like some fetish stuff, because they had like cages, and like there's like pillars, and like kind of in the back there's a bunch of tables where you can sit around and stuff. But so they must do other stripper adjacent stuff, but many nights it's just a punk club, and they just get these big bills of like punk and metal bands.
All right.
And then downstairs, of which you can just go downstairs, there's just like a big staircase in the back of the room that leads you downstairs, and it's just a very by the book from the movies strip club. You know, it's all like fucking neon lights and really unenthusiastic strippers, and
wow.
You know, and
Yeah.
really expensive beers and stuff like that.
Yup.
And so we went down to see our friend's band play because he was playing upstairs, and the headliner was Agent Orange.
No shit.
Yeah, which, like, legendary punk band.
Yeah, that's wild.
And so, yeah, they were headlining. My friend's band was playing, and then another band from Denver that I really liked called Black Ops were on the lineup. And so we were just like, dude, this is awesome. Like, let's definitely go to this show. And then we, like, knew it was at a strip club, but we, like, didn't care. We were like, whatever. That's great. It's attached to a strip club. We didn't know it was, like, the same thing. And, like, we went in and we paid our $15 cover or whatever, which $15 cover to see Agent Orange. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
But the guy at the door's like, oh yeah, so here's your wristband. This will get you in upstairs and downstairs. And we're like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, one cover. You can go to the strip club. You can hang out upstairs.
Dude, sick.
Yeah. So, like, it literally was kind of fucking amazing because during the changeovers on the bands,
Just go watch the strippers
we
for
just,
a
like,
minute.
walk downstairs and watch the strippers. We learned very early on that the beers were $2 cheaper upstairs than they were downstairs.
Oh my god!
So this got even more perfect. So because like
amazing.
We got fucked the first time. Like we wandered down there the first time.
Sure.
And we were like, oh shit! Like we are just in a strip club, and it's a completely different dynamic. Like we're in this dim lit punk rock club, very punk rock dive vibe.
Yeah.
Then we walk down there, and it's like top 40 club music and like
oh god,
you know, neon lights everywhere.
On the center stage, we've got Amber.
I mean, literally, like. If you've seen a strip club in a movie, this is what it was. You know, like it was just that. And and so we were like, well, this is weird. And we grab a seat, and waitress comes by, and she's got these little like glass vials filled with like who knows what's in them. She's selling them for like $5 a piece. She's like, you guys need some booze? And we're like, yeah, we probably do. We buy all these vials of fucking who knows what, dude. Like
they're just like sugary
just
shots.
vodka and Kool-Aid, but you know, and probably not even vodka, but
right.
Yeah, and then she like gets our order and like brings us back our beers, and they're like $9 a piece or whatever, and we're like, oh god, like what the fuck? Okay, well, we're not spending much time down here. And then everyone's like, yeah, how much was your beer upstairs? And we're like, oh, like six or seven? And we're like, yeah, okay. Like, I know what we're doing now. Yep. And so then that was the rest of the night. It's like, all right, so we fucking kill our beers down there, go back upstairs, order a beer, watch the band changes over, go back downstairs, finish the beer, but don't order another one, go back upstairs. And like just kind of did that like all night.
Love it.
Yeah, it was a fucking blast, dude. It ended up being such a wild ass night. And then this was like the scary part. Like, I don't remember how we got home. I imagine it was safe, but like I didn't drive. Yeah. I know like the couple guys I was with didn't drive, but boy, it was a night, dude. And then everyone in our house got super sick with a cold, and we were like, for like a week, we're like, stripper flu, and we were just like cursing it. We're like, that dirty ass place.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Classic.
But yeah, that was fun. That was a fun place. I hope that place still exists, because like it just seemed, I mean, it's, I don't know how you make a place like that.
No, that is wild as hell. I've never heard of a dive bar attached to a fucking strip club. Like,
yeah, and the cover worked both ways, because also occasionally these like stripper frequenter dudes would like wander upstairs, you know, with like Adidas like tracksuits and like chains
puffy
and
coat
stuff.
And shit.
Yeah, totally. And they'd like take one look around and like walk back down.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this ain't for you, man. This ain't for you.
Yeah. Take your Axe body spray and get the fuck out.
Yeah. For real. Before we do some stories though, like, what's good, man? Like, how have you been? It's been a minute since we've potted, and you've been out of town for a minute and stuff, so...
Well, I mean, like, I feel like the big thing that's changed since the last time, and as we mentioned, like, I'd gotten my second shot, and was, like, you know, ready to walk amongst the fucking living and the dead.
Indeed, yeah. You were second shotted as of last time we recorded, and now I am.
And now you are, too. Yeah. So, like, we're just living our best lives now. And,
like, shit is coming back together, dude. Like, I went to, like, a proper gathering last weekend. There were like 12 people there or something. It was weird.
A little bummed that I didn't get to go, but I was doing family shit. So
it also was cool because everyone there was fully vaxxed, so it also wasn't like, well, it feels kind of weird doing this, but we're doing it anyway. Yeah, and like, no, it's like, fuck it, dude. Like, we're good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I mean, there was definitely a couple of people there who like hadn't had their second shot, but like at that point, that's on them, and they're fine anyway. You know, it's like
totally.
I love that that's where we're at now. Is like all the people that we know who like are fucking sane, responsible adults are like either fully vaxxed or like well on their way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, like they're I can think of at least of one holdout who like got COVID and like has antibodies and like maybe hasn't had time to go get it, but like other than that, like everybody's fucking on top of it, and it feels really good. And I'm, you know, like hopefully optimistic about like the future, which
me
is
too.
a weird feeling.
I know. Shit's feeling like pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, I was in an airport last weekend.
Right. Talk to me about this. Yeah, because you flew to Southern Oregon.
Yeah.
That's
so
wild.
I will admit that in the run up to taking this trip, like I did have some trepidations, just like, fuck, I'm gonna be in an airport and on a plane, like, isn't this like really bad?
Yeah.
But I mean, you crunch the numbers and it's like, dude, no, like with the vaccine, none of that fucking matters.
Right.
Like, if I get a fucking variant, the data says that I might have some symptoms, but they're going to be way less.
Yep.
And I won't be able to pass it on to anyone else.
Yep.
And even if I'm asymptomatic, I'm not going to be able to pass it off to anyone else. And it's very unlikely that I will get sick and be asymptomatic. So I'm just like, okay, I've rationalized all of this. I can do this.
I've read the articles.
Yeah. Fucking got into that TSA line and it was just like, oh, hello, panic attack. How are you?
Right.
And it's, it would be bad enough, like, because TSA at PDX is really shitty. Like, it is crowded. It is fucking...
It is.
Weird. It's not...
But they always get you through quickly.
Well, I was going to say, it's not that time consuming. The line is always moving. And so, like, it looks like it's going to be way more fucked than it is.
Yeah.
But now imagine that condensed into an area half the size.
Oh, right.
And it's a pandemic. And so, like, people should be distanced more. But we have half the space. And so, granted, there aren't as many people flying because it is a fucking pandemic.
Of course.
And, like, thankfully, no one's that fucking crazy.
People are still not really traveling as much as they used to.
Right.
Yeah.
But even so, like, it was packed and, like, nobody was doing any kind of social distancing.
No.
There was chin diapers left and right.
Yeah.
And, like, for a hot second, I was just like, this is fucked. Why am I here?
Yeah.
But, again, like, reason took over and I'm just like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, I could be not wearing a mask right now and it wouldn't fucking matter to me. But, I still, like, did my best to not, like, fucking tailgate the person in front of me and,
Dude,
like,
definitely
give them some fucking space, just because, like, that's what we're supposed to do, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was weird.
But I'll bet. Was your plane full?
Plane was fucking completely full on the way down.
Wild.
Yeah, and, like, checking...
Masks on the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except for the free beer and the snacks, and then it was, like, just... only take your mask off
Pull
when
it
you're
down while you're
eating or drinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was chill, and like the statistics on being on an airplane are wild. Like, it's super safe to be on a plane just because of how fast they're recycling all of the air in that cabin.
Oh, see, I thought it would be sketchier just because you're sitting there like breathing all that recycled air.
You would think, right? Because it's just a tube full of canned air, but
right.
They're filtering that air completely about every 2 minutes, like the entire.
Interesting. And the filtering like actually stops viral transmission and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Huh. So it's just like getting sick in an airport's just the sheer volume of people you're.
Well, think about being in an airport bathroom and how much aerosolized fluids from people's bodies are just hanging in the fucking air. And it doesn't matter how strong the ventilation is. There's just like dozens of people flowing through that one little fucking room.
Yeah.
That's why people get sick traveling is airport bathrooms.
Fucking bathrooms.
Yeah.
Well, never pissing again. You heard it here first.
Pee on the plane, people. No, I mean, like, I still use the airport bathroom, like, every chance that I could get because, like, you don't want to have to piss
No, I mean, I'll
plane,
just do the thing I always do, which is just be massively dehydrated and still drink. I mean, that's on the plane, so
you know how to do it.
Yeah.
Oh god,
man!
But I will say that like the flight from Portland to Medford, apart from the fucking severe turbulence over Medford, both going in and going out, was very pleasant. I mean, like, dude, a 1 hour airplane flight, you barely have time to get bored. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I mean, you like hit altitude, and then they're like, and we'll be descending to land.
Well, it's like you get up to altitude, and they're like, how about a free beer? And you're like, fucking hell yes.
Nice.
And like if they don't completely dump out the last 22 that they're pouring, they go back along the line and give it to people who like haven't completely finished their beers.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's free beer, it's free fucking snacks, and then by the time you've finished your shit and you've given them your trash, you've got maybe 20 minutes before you have to land.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, like, I was actually looking forward to reading more of my book. It's ridiculous.
Like, you want to do a couple laps around the airport there? I got a chapter to finish here.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it is the best way to get from Portland to Southern Oregon.
Yeah,
Hands
I mean,
down.
for sure. Man, like, yeah, long drives, as we were talking earlier. Yeah, it's just like I'm just not cut out for it like I used to be. And I love a road trip. I mean, I love it. But, yeah, I just can't do the long hauls like I used to.
No.
And even a 4 hours or whatever, but it's still like, Jesus, it's so long.
Right, but I much prefer the trips, like, where you get to go through, like, a bunch of small towns, and, like, there's opportunities to stop and, like, maybe eat at some weird little place and, like, check out a fucking gift shop or whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I mean, even without the touristy shit, but just places that aren't just fucking rest areas where
the
you
weed
can, like,
gift
pull
shop.
out. Yes.
The fucking weed
This is
California
exactly what
gift
I'm
shop,
talking about.
dude.
Yeah.
You gotta stop there.
Right, and, like, Crescent City has some ill shit, too,
Yeah.
on, like, Highway 97, you know, but the drive from Portland to Bend is rough, man, because, like, once you get outside of Sandy, there's nothing until you hit fucking Warm Springs. And Warm Springs, man, like, oof, it is real fucking rough cuts there. Like, you know, if you have to stop at that gas station, you're going to be lucky if the vending machine is working. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's really essentially Sandy to Madras that you got to go. And, like, fuck, man, that's a good solid couple of hours.
Yeah.
And I would rather, like, have some shit to do in there somewhere, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's there's terrible drives everywhere, but I love doing, like, the Oregon Coast Drive.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, stuff like that, where it's just like, okay, I gotta pee. There's guaranteed to be a place in 15 minutes that, like, no one's gonna be super bummed to stop at, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's my speed of road trip, where we can do it a little more leisurely, you know?
Yeah, it's all about that leisure, too, so you can stop at whatever weird thing you find.
Yes.
This was the, like, worst part about touring, and especially touring the, like, West, like, not even the West Coast, but just, like, the West and Southwest, is, like, all your stops are fucking 8 hours away from each other, so, like, you don't really have time to, like, hit the little roadside attractions and hit the, like, other stuff, because you're like, we gotta get to the venue. Even though, like, we don't, but, like, we do, to load in and do sound check and then sit around and wait for 4 hours before we even go on. But
well, God help you if you're in fucking northern Nevada and there's, like, fucking 70 miles or, like, 130 miles, like, between services, and you, like, really gotta hedge your bets, and, like, fuck you if you, like, roll into that town at night and you just gotta fucking spend the night there until the gas station opens.
I mean, I told that story on here about running out of gas in the middle of Utah on our way to Coachella, and, like,
that shit's real, dude.
AAA, like, woke dude up out of his bed to come and open his gas station to, like, fill us up, and he was super thrilled, let me tell you.
Well,
he was definitely, like, so stoked to see 4 hippies at fucking 1 a.m. at his fucking Mormon, Utah gas station, just like, oh man, we didn't see the sign back there that said no services for 100 miles. Anyway, thanks for filling our gas.
I will say, though, that, like, that is the best advertisement for, like, AAA and cell phones, like, ever.
We could not believe it. Like, fucking Abe hops on the fucking line. He was like, well, because we were like, what are we going to fucking do, man? Like, we're going to just have to wait till this dude shows up. And Abe's like, well, I got AAA. Like, let's see what happens. Calls him up, and they're like, fucking Randy's gonna come open up the gas station. We're like, what?
So good. Dude, I mean, like, fucking, there was one night where, that's right, so me and Sean went fucking skiing one time up at Bachelor, and Sean fucking lost his keys somehow. Like, I think his, like, he had, like, a zipper pocket on his parka, and, like, I think his, like, weed was in the same pocket as his keys or something, and, like, fucking left that pocket open and, like, put the weed back in a different pocket.
Sure.
and just lost his keys somehow, and
Just on the mountain somewhere?
Yeah, his keys are gone. You know? So I was driving my car, and like we go down. It's like, okay, we got to go back and get my car, and I'm like, that's cool. I don't want to take my car. It doesn't have studs. Like it's after dark. Let's take the van. My grandma's staying with us, so like my mom's van is not being used, and so yeah, we just took my mom's van, and like we're listening to like Clockwork Orange at about 120 decibels, and like
like the soundtrack, like the synth Beethoven shit.
Yeah, exactly. There may have been marijuana involved.
I doubt it.
And you know, like I didn't turn hard enough on a corner, and like one of the wheels of the van catches the fucking snow wall, you know, like the plow wall that's on the side of the road. And that's not a big deal as long as you fucking pull out quick enough, but my stony reaction time's just a little slow.
Oh, no.
And so the wheel actually gets buried in the bank.
Fuck.
And I mean, not a big deal, right? Like, no damage has been done to the vehicle.
Right, but you're stuck.
But there is literally no way to get that van out with the tools that we have.
Yeah.
And so it's like, dope. Well, we got Sean's car stuck up at the mountain. And now we got Mom's van stuck on the side of the fucking road. We're fucking killing it today.
Totally.
And we must have had a cell phone, like, I think maybe my mom had like an emergency cell phone in the fucking van, because like cell phones were not like widely available at the time. But somehow we managed to get a hold of Sean's mom, and she fucking drives out with her fucking AAA card and like calls AAA and tells them that she needs to get this van pulled out of this fucking snowbank. And they're like, all right, we're on our way. It's going to be like an hour or two.
Yeah.
And
God, even an hour or two. I figured they'd be like, we'll see you someday. Stay warm.
I mean, Bachelor's like half an hour away from Bed.
Okay. So it's not that bad.
Yeah. And so, you know, she's just chilling. And Sean's like, Mom, give me your keys. We're going to go get my car. And she's like, ugh, okay. And so we hop in her car, we drive up there, and like Sean gets into his Jeep.
Oh man, I was like, please tell me you got that one stuck.
We're getting there.
Oh no.
And so he gives me his mom's keys, and he's like, all right, let's drive back. And we start heading down, and there's this weird fucking interchange where the Mount Bachelor loop intersects with the Cascade Lakes Highway. And like, it's completely counterintuitive which direction you're supposed to take to stay on the road that's actually going the direction you want to go. And like, I realize that I'm now driving the wrong way down a one-way like highway thing.
Oh, like an on-ramp?
Yeah,
an interchange
road. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh fuck. But I know that there's nobody on the road, and so I'm like, should I just keep going? Like, and so this fucking stony moment of hesitation, I look in my rearview mirror, and I see the headlights of Sean's car, and I'm like, weird. It looks like he's not slowing down. Oh shit, he's not fucking slowing down. Oh shit, and like I put the car in gear and I start going, but it's way too fucking late.
Yeah,
and he just creams the back of his mom's fucking car. Yeah,
with his car.
Yeah.
Dude, no.
Yeah. And like fucking pushes me a little way, and I'm just like, oh god.
Sorry, for clarification, you're both going the wrong way down a road.
He just followed. So not only did he follow me the wrong way, but didn't notice that I had my brake lights on, and was just thought that those were regular taillights and that I was at speed.
Oh no.
And so did not attempt to like adulterate his velocity at all.
Dude.
Yeah, just plowed right into the back of his mom's car and was like strangely unworried about it. It was just like, well, fuck man, why'd you stop there? Like, 'cause I was going the wrong way. Well, whatever. I mean, like, dude, why did you just plow into it? I mean, I didn't realize you were stopped. At what point did you really? Oh my god. Well, what are we going to tell your mom? I don't know. Let's just get back to the van. This seems like a bad plan, but okay. Yeah. And so we get back there, and then he just, like, acts like he's really mad at me for fucking his mom's car up. And I'm like,
oh, no. It's like, that's the plan, is it?
Dude. Well, why did you stop there? I'm like, because I was going the wrong way. We've been over this.
Right.
But the cool thing is his mom's just mad at him, not mad at me. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're fine. But, like...
She's also already out there, getting
honestly,
this van out. Like, how much more mad could you even get?
Rita's a fucking saint.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. She fucking went through hell for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so...
That's fucking crazy,
tow truck
dude.
finally shows up, and he's talking a little bit of shit about, like, oh, wow, how'd you get up there, you know? Like, finally, like, pulls us out of the snowbank. Rita's, like, throwing him a little bit of shade, like, can you just get our car for us?
Dude. Yeah. Holy shit, man.
So finally this fucking Benny Hill scenario, like, resolves into 3 vehicles that are, like, driving down the hill, and, like, none of them ran into each other after that.
Yeah, no more trouble after that.
It's a fucking miracle.
Good lord, dude.
Yeah. Holy shit. That's what I get for stealing my mom's van for a quick errand.
Yeah, seriously, right? Holy shit. That's fucking hilarious.
No, I'm just imagining this story with the Benny Hill theme in the background, and it makes it so much better.
I know, maybe I'll cue that up on repeat behind this. God, wow. Okay, we got off track there.
Yeah,
but, so, hey, welcome to Coming Down.
That kind of podcast.
2/3 of the way in. Yeah, welcome to Coming Down. Yeah, I'm Nathan. I'm here with Matthew.
Hey!
Yeah, just do like a short bout of housekeeping, and then I'll leave you all with one more little story here, since we've already gone on and on, which is great. Fucking honestly, dude, like, we'll get back to some semblance of, like,
oh, I'm sure, yeah,
another format, but I love this. Like, I love just shooting the shit and just, like, finding where we go.
It's kind of like what we do already. We just, like, turn a recorder on. It
is how wonderful. We, like, discovered to even do this podcast, because we would just find ourselves talking with, like, no breaking conversation for hours on end. It's
I know,
like,
right?
Wow, okay, like, we can just do this, so.
Like, there's Matt and Nate over there fucking
just going on,
fasting.
Just fucking going on about whatever.
Right.
Some fucking story. Yeah.
Fucking sharing their memories telepathically.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, yeah, just still want to remind everyone, if you want to donate to either BLM or ACLU, please do that. Really any amount, and we'll match it, and then we'll send you swag. We'll send you shirts and stickers and coasters and buttons and all the good stuff. The Patreon, I think we said we would maybe start it up June 1st again, but we haven't got back on a regular schedule, so I think we'll just probably keep delaying that. Like, after we record, we got to figure out a regular schedule again, because...
Well, we'll make an announcement once, like, that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm willing to say by July 1st, we'll probably start that up again. So for all of you who've stuck with us and are still doing it, love you, thank you, and we'll let you all know before you get charged again. Anyone who wants to jump in on it, you still can. You wouldn't get charged until July 1st, and just, like, we just really appreciate it. It helps us pay the hosting fees and stuff. So
damn straight.
Yeah, and at this point, it's like, you know... Like, at this point, once we're paying the hosting fees, too, I'm also willing to just, like, donate proceeds to, like, ACLU and shit.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, like, whatever. This ain't a profit game, dude.
Yeah, maybe that's what we do, is, like, at the end of the year, anything that we aren't investing back in the podcast, we just fucking donate, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if it doesn't go back into, like, new mics or recording, which I'm thinking about upgrading this boy.
You know, like, I feel like we've gotten a lot of great mileage out of this thing, but we've gotten enough comments about how we could improve our sound that,
dude, definitely. Definitely. Well, you know, and I bought this little portable guy because I thought, like, oh, this will be cool because we can just do these on the fly, and then it just, like, never really bears out that way, and we just always do it here.
Well, and I mean, now we always have the option.
And yeah, and I'll keep it around. We'll have that option, but yeah, so I think that's probably, like, a direction we'll go with that. But yeah, please donate. We'll give you stuff, and we'll match the donations.
Damn straight.
And if you can't, that's great. And if you want to do the Patreon, that's awesome. And if you can't, that's great too. I hope you're just enjoying it. Like,
absolutely.
God, we're getting back into it, and, like, I'm having a great time.
Fucking A. And straight up, like, if you just want a t-shirt or a sticker, like, or whatever, like, we don't have a storefront yet, but just email us.
Oh, yeah.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. If you just want some swag and don't want to go through any of the other hoops or channels, like, we can just make that happen.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, email us comingdownpod@gmail.com or tweet at us at comingdownpod on Twitter. So
Fucking A.
Okay, so this is the story that I was going to try and get to last time we recorded when we were going to talk about odd jobs. And this is perfect because we've rambled on, and this won't be a super long story, but this is the weirdest thing I've ever done for money. I don't even remember how old I was when this happened. Literally, like, it must have been some dark time in my life when... And like, the only reason I took this job is because I was hard up for work and I must have desperately needed the money. I don't remember if this was like when I was 20 or like, yeah, it had to have been, because I don't think it was like after the robbery. But anyway, fucking yeah, I must have been like 20 or 21 and I needed some work. And leading up to this, I'd mostly just worked like clerk jobs.
Sure.
I mean, pretty much my whole 20s until I started working at the movie theater in my like late 20s. It was just clerk jobs, man, because they were the easiest jobs to get.
Well,
and
right.
they were the easiest jobs to do. And I worked at like every single fucking gas station in Fort Collins. I swear, or at least every company, you know. And
Right.
some of them for a day or two, and some of them for a week or two, and some of them for a couple of years, you know. Like, yeah. But yeah, so I found an ad. Might have even been back in the newspaper, so that probably does tell you how old this was. But it was like, God, I don't even remember what the ad said. It was like, do you love dogs? Do you want to help with a like startup? Like, are you good at talking to people? And I was like, all right, fuck it, like I can do this or whatever.
I mean, dog scam, let's go.
Yeah, man. So I call him up. I go and I meet him, and it's actually in PetSmart is where they're holding the interview.
That's clearly legal.
Yeah, so they did not work for PetSmart. Like
Exactly.
I go there, I meet them, and they're like, yeah, let's go into the back room, in the break room or whatever, and we'll talk to you for a minute. And they're like, yeah, so here's the deal. What we're doing is we are starting a dog amusement park.
What?
Yeah, totally. And God, I wish I could even remember what they were gonna call it.
No,
They had some fucking name for it, like pause on or something. Dude, I do not even remember what it was called.
At the time, did you notice that there was perhaps like a crust of powder around this person's nostrils?
I mean, you would think, right? The woman who interviewed me, she also was probably like in her mid-20s. Like, she was not very old. And
Well, clearly, I mean, anyone who
Yeah.
is like of any age
yeah,
would be like,
right,
well,
yes.
this is fucking ludicrous.
No, and I think she was like a vet student or maybe a vet dropout or something, but she was like, yeah, so like me and my husband are starting a dog amusement park. And so I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Basically,
Wow.
they had this idea of like a dog park, right? So, you know what a dog park is.
yeah, I mean, like,
Which is basically just...
you throw the word amusement in there.
Uh-huh,
it,
right,
It sounds
so-
great on paper.
So instead of just a big open field where you can bring your dog and let them
God, and
run
that, I
wild.
bet you that was the fucking thought process. Like, out there in the dog park, like,
Yeah.
2 joints deep, like, buddy.
What if we had a little water ride for them? What if we had like a thing they could
Like-
climb on? What if we had like a little fucking...
Everyone's heard of a dog park, but have you ever heard of a fucking dog amusement park?
Yeah, dude, totally. And I'm immediately nonplussed by this idea.
Cause you're a man of science.
But I also need a job. So I'm like, all right, continue. What do you need? Like, what do you need? And they're like, well, we want to make it a nonprofit. I'm like, all right, that's cool. And so initially...
Non-profit amusement park. I mean,
4 dogs. Yep. Yep.
like,
And
we're off to a great start.
I don't even know if they had like a plot of land that they were scouting. I mean, they had fucking
So this is some people with a dream.
yeah, they had a hope and a dream. You know,
It's a song and a prayer.
Yeah, and then
a wing and a prayer.
Somehow managed to like not partner with PetSmart, but PetSmart was going to let them sort of run their operation out of the back room, which was doing the interviews for like the volunteers, and I put that in air quotes because like, yeah, that's what I was. But
I believe you've already clarified this, but these people were not in any way affiliated with PetSmart, apart from the fact that they had agreed to let them use their back room for interviews.
Yeah, totally. And we'll get to more of the PetSmart involvement in a minute, but
because that's pretty wild. But like, I guess if like it was a non-profit, I can kind of see how management would be like, you know what, like that's cool.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, whoever like ran that store was like, all right, like. They were plussed by this vision. Yeah, they're like, all right,
like, you kids, I want to see you succeed.
I want to see
you
dog amusement
park. Crazy kids with your dog amusement park dream,
Pawland or whatever the fuck it was called.
What if it became a thing and like that was the story? Is it all started here in the back room at PetSmart?
Yeah, fucking Posiversal Studios, whatever they called it. Anyway,
if it's not called Six Wags, I'm not in.
Fucking Christ!
Wow. How are you not the CEO of this fucking corporation? Jesus, Six Wags? Are you kidding me? Like, how are we not already doing this?
Yeah. So Matthew, would you like to start a dog amusement park?
I have a venture that I would like to discuss with you.
I've already dabbled in this before, so I kind of know some of the ins and outs. I think we can get it off the ground.
Oh shit!
Okay, so from here forth, it is known as Six Wags because whatever they were calling it was not that good.
Clearly.
And so I go in for this interview, and she's like, okay. So she kind of gives me the vision, and I'm just like, okay. What would you like me to do for money? Because I hear nonprofit too. Yeah. I'm like, I am gonna need to get paid.
Yeah. Are you gonna make me a director, or I'm probably out?
Yeah. They didn't make me a director, but again, because I was just willing to kind of take anything at this point, and I've quit jobs after half a shift before, so I'm like, whatever, I'll take it. And if I walk, I walk. Like this isn't a problem for me.
Right. I'll at least put myself in a position where I might conceivably be successful.
Yeah, totally. And so at first they wanted me to just do general like door-to-door fundraising.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, like they wanted like a fundraiser, and they were like, yeah, you could do like door-to-door, or you could also like go hit up a town square, you know, like go to downtown and maybe try and like talk to some people about it and try and like get people to sign up and get people to like get on board with this and like da-da-da. And I was like, you know, I've done this stuff before and like I'm not super cut out for it, but you know what, fuck it, like I'll give it a shot. Like give me a day, like give me your little packet.
Sure.
Like I'll head out. I'll head out.
College try.
Yeah, I'll go fucking knock on some doors, and I think I did for like a day, and they were gonna pay me like $10 an hour or something, you know. So it was actually a pretty decent wage
at that time. Yeah, that's fucking great.
Probably wasn't 10. It was probably like 8 or something, but it was more than minimum wage.
Still, I want to say like back then, like minimum wage couldn't have been more than
minimum wage
was
$5.15.
Yeah, okay. And like here in Oregon, it was like no greater than 7.
Yeah,
surely, yeah,
totally. So it's like, all right, whatever. And so I want to say I did go out and like knock doors for a day and was just like, fuck, what am I doing? This is awful. Like, how did I get into this again? Because I had already done some like door knocking stuff before and was like, this sucks. So I called them up and was like, man, this ain't for me. I'm sorry. Like, I hope you guys do well, but this ain't for me. And they're like, all right, tell you what, like, you seem cool and like, we've got another opportunity for you. Like, come talk to us. Like, we've got an idea. And I was like, okay, like, all right. So I go in, and I think I gave them the $20 or whatever that I had drummed up the day before, and they're like, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. PetSmart's actually gonna let us set up a table, like right in the entry, like right when you come through the fucking automatic doors. You'll have a table. We'll have a banner. We'll have like a jar out. We'll have all our like paperwork and all of our fucking stuff you hand out, all our flyers and all of our like stuff, right? And we'll give you a little thing with, like, dog treats that you can give to dogs, and you can just start talking to people, like, right when they walk through the doors of PetSmart.
Yeah, I mean, that's better than going door to door.
And they're like, and we'll pay you hourly still. Like, it's not based on, like, how many signups you get or whatever. And I was just like, all right, you know what?
I mean,
like,
that's a step up.
I just got to sit there at this table and just, like, talk to people about this fucking...
all the free dog treats.
All the dog jerkies I can handle, I'm in. And so I was like, all right, fine, fine. Like, I think I can probably do this.
Sure, once more into the breach, what could it hurt?
Yeah, totally. And so then that was my job for the next, like, 3 weeks.
Oh,
or, like,
wow.
I maybe even did this for, like, a month. And it was, like, full time. I'm, like, in PetSmart for, like, 8 hours a day, just sitting at this table. People walk in.
Just scamming money for these people who are never going to start an amusement park.
Oh, you think they didn't start this amusement park? I mean, like, have you not been to all the Six Wags locations nationwide? I was on the ground floor of that, my friend. I don't know why you would think that this didn't succeed or never got started.
How dare you?
Yeah, it seemed like a completely legitimate operation that was completely on the level.
Oh,
there was no cause for concern in my mind. At any point.
Literally never did it cross my mind.
No. And so I've got the clipboard. I'm signing people up. Even if they didn't want to donate, they could sign up to get, like, notifications.
That's how you know they're legit. Yeah.
Yep. And then, and it was like in-person Kickstarter, because we had, like, hey, you could just chip $5 into the coffer. We'll sign you up. You don't really get anything, but if you would like to be a VIP member, right?
Backer,
yeah, like a backer, like $100 or more. Maybe it was even, I don't know, man. I think it was like $100 or more.
Ooh, wow,
and then you got, like, some premiums, like you got a year pass for the first year,
right.
And you got XYZ. Put your dog's name on the fucking.
Jeez, for only $100
on the monkey bars and shit.
How can I not sign up for this?
Right. Wouldn't you love to see Waffle's name on the fucking monkey bars, on the dog monkey bars?
Yeah, you can even ride the Flume ride for a year for free.
The Flume. Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. So, as you would expect, dog owners were into it.
Yep.
Many people were like, well, shit, that sounds cool. The regular dog park is pretty fucking boring. But
what if I could put my dog on a Ferris wheel?
Basically, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'll send him down the fucking log ride, dude. Catch him at the end, get the photo. Fucking.
Just 8 nonplussed dogs.
Yeah. Or, like, 4 dogs fighting each other. Like, 2 others, like, hiding under the bench and, like, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, so this was the greatest idea ever. And
clearly.
As we already know. And so I did do this for a while, and it was going fine. Again, like, my workday was fine. People were genuinely kind of interested, and then when the shop was slow, it was cool. I just got to pet lots of dogs that came through, and the work was cool, and I got to be in PetSmart and stuff, and, like, the employees were cool to me and stuff. So all in all, the job was fine.
Well, especially during the honeymoon period when it's like you're not really thinking about any of the downsides, and you're just like into the novelty of the whole thing. You know?
Yeah, totally. And I'm just like, whatever, man. I hope these wacky kids do start this fucking dog amusement park. You know,
these wacky kids with their dream.
Yeah, and it is. It's like this husband wife. I think she was like probably 25 or 26. I was like maybe 20, and like her husband was a little older. I think he was like maybe in his early 30s. Kurt, I think was his name. I don't remember. Alicia, I think was her name. Anyway, yeah, I'd fucking drag him out right now if I remember the whole names. But we'll get to that. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. I love it. So things get interesting because we are drumming up some money. Like, we had started really raising up the money, and
especially once you got into PetSmart.
And I wasn't the only person. Like, they did also still have a crew, like, out beating feet.
Oh,
like,
no shit!
Because they put out an ad for, like, volunteers. They called it, it was paid volunteers, right? So they were paying people. I had the sweet fucking PetSmart gig, but they did have other kids out there like hustling up money, and like maybe even had some people like going to the dog parks and like going to other dog Tupperware parties and like dog, other fucking dog socials, dog galas. Fucking.
I don't want to get too far off track here, but like, it's okay if you can't remember, but like, do you think that you were taking in more per hour than they were paying you?
Yeah, actually, because on the busy days, people were pretty receptive. I mean, I was hitting $50 signups and $100 signups like pretty regularly, and people were pretty happy to just like cut checks and be like, you know what, cool, I'm in. And then they'd fill out a whole little form for their VIP status, and like we'd give them a little fucking. And I think we did kind of the things that you see in like convenience stores where we had all these little like dog bones that they'd fill out their name or their dog's name, and we'd tape it to our little table, so it showed how many people were donating and stuff.
Of course, you want to do that.
Like, we were drumming up money for sure.
So you were at least paying for yourself.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm just trying to like get a good
because I would have been kind of crunching those numbers of like, well, they're paying me $8 an hour and I have brought in $5 today, so this isn't going to pan out.
Exactly. So at least they're weird.
But I did have my slow days. I mean, like Tuesday, I would only bring in maybe $40, which didn't pay for me. But then
but it would average out.
But then like Saturday, it'd be like, oh shit, dude, I did like $500 today for you guys. So like, okay.
So cool. Yeah. So like, on paper, it seemed like it was probably at least generating some.
I don't know. Yeah, and I wasn't like too much thinking about it because I don't know. But
I'm just trying to get a picture for like the larger infrastructure. Of the scheme.
and that's a good thing because I was only trying to not think about that and was just kind of like, man, I just want to get paid to sit here.
You're like, hey, like I get to fucking talk to dogs. Like,
yep, totally.
We're good.
And you would get the occasional person who was just like, are you fucking for real? Like, fuck no, I'm not doing it. They'd actively be like, oh hell no, this is the worst idea I've ever heard, and like, you should not be doing this.
So there's the occasional rational person.
There was.
Interesting.
Yeah. So things really ramped up at a certain point because they were out beating their feet too, and they were doing a ton of promotion and stuff, and they managed to get a cross promotion with a radio station. And I do not remember what radio station it was. It was probably the classic rock one, and it's probably the Bear, but I'm not sure. But the gimmick was that Kurt, the guy, the other guy,
the brains of this operation,
he was going to kind of do one of these endurance fundraisers where he was going to live in a doghouse inside PetSmart for as long as humanly possible.
What?
As long as he could actually handle it.
What?
Yeah. And here's the thing. So they put, like when you go to like one of these stores, there's like the two sets of automatic doors. Like you go through one set of automatic doors, and then it's often where they'll put like shopping carts and stuff like that, and then there's another set of automatic doors. Yeah, the airlock. That's where he slept at night because PetSmart wasn't going to let him just be in the store.
Oh, so night. Hold on. Not only did this actually take place, but like it took place in the airlock?
Yeah, so they built a doghouse. Okay.
Good God.
So they built a doghouse. And then they built it on a platform, and it had like a tiny little yard, effectively.
Oh, I gotta remember to breathe.
So
this is intense right now.
So like this little spot that he could crawl out of the doghouse and sit at, and then it had like a tiny little fence around it, and then the whole rig,
what the fuck,
was on casters so that they could roll it around, and so
what?
And so during the day.
Oh my God!
So during the day, during business hours, I'll let you breathe for a second.
Oh my God, I can barely handle this.
This image is just too much.
Holy fucking shit! Look at the human dog man.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh my god. The Jim Rose fucking circus sideshow.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
Whew. Okay. Yeah.
So they would wheel him into the store and
wait, what?
They would.
well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Keep going.
And yeah, because this whole big flotilla of doghouse and little yard that they put like shitty AstroTurf on and stuff, right?
In case he fucking wets himself.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you have questions about that, and we will get to that in a second. So we would basically wheel that whole fucking rig in, and then he'd be in the doghouse or sitting in the yard next to my little table. And then, but then at night, so yeah, PetSmart obviously wouldn't let him just like be in there while they're closed, and so they would wheel his ass into the fucking airlock, and then lock his ass in there, and somehow that was okay.
Hold on, so the inner doors of the store, like on the inside of the airlock, those are locked, so he can't get in the store. I understand that.
Yeah.
And like we're talking about how like there's also some stuff in the airlock that belongs to the store, so they also want to lock the outside doors.
Oh, he was locked in there.
Like couldn't go through the doors on either side.
No, he was absolutely locked in there and had no access to a key or a manager or anything.
Was there a porta potty?
No. So
sweet fucking Jesus.
Yeah. So this poor fucking bastard. And this is where I do start to wonder if the cocaine was involved. But like, I really don't know. Or like, I don't know why.
It's either cocaine or Christians. Like, there's one of the two.
And it really could have just been that too. Like, they could have just been these like very
super weird Christians.
Yeah. I don't think so, though. But I don't know. I really don't know, man.
I mean, it could have been both. Like, I'm not discounting both.
To this day, I don't know what they were fucking doing.
They were fucking up, clearly.
Oh, they were fucking everything up. And doing it in the most absurd, insane way, right?
My God. Like, who locks themselves in an airlock overnight? Like,
okay, hold up. Here's the next fact. Here's the next piece of this. Just to be sure that dude wasn't leaving the doghouse, because again, this is a fundraiser, he had a webcam, a 24-hour access webcam inside the doghouse.
No way,
just so
dude.
People could make sure he wasn't leaving the doghouse. Because again, it was this fundraiser thing.
So he was getting people to pledge for how long he stayed in the doghouse.
He
right?
was.
Okay,
he absolutely was. Yeah.
Like on paper, I can kind of see how that is a thing. No, I can't.
Yeah, and they partnered with a radio station, and so there was at least one weekend. Spoiler: I think the dude made it 9 days.
Wow!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking 3 or 4.
Yeah!
Tops.
No,
you know?
I think he made it 9, maybe even 10 or 11. It was, like, way too long, for sure. Because he came out of it with a beard. I remember that. He went in shaven and then came out of it with a beard.
And like, fucking haunted eyes, I'm sure. Like,
oh, he was, like, gout. Like he became a different person, dude.
I believe it, dude.
He like went through some shit, dude.
That's fucked up. That is fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up. It's completely insane. Now, so the radio station would come out at least during the weekend, because this was a big thing in Fort Collins too, and it's probably a big thing in every like town. But the radio station would come out and set up out in the parking lot, and they had a barbecue, and then they're like promoting the fucking guy in the doghouse, like, come on down to PetSmart. This guy's been in a doghouse for fucking 7 days. Like, it's crazy.
Oh my fucking God.
He's starting fucking Six Flags. Like, can you believe it? And like fucking, you know. And they're like, come get a hot dog and make fun of the fucking dog man in the doghouse.
Throw some trash at the human animal.
Basically, dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so like, it definitely like was big. People were coming in for this.
Just to clarify something, how long was this place closed at night? Like how many hours are we talking he was locked in the airlock?
So like 12?
Can we talk about
like 9 p.m. to 9 a.m.?
If he had a fucking bucket in there and like privacy? Because what the fuck?
He was allowed. Well, it's self-imposed rule. He was technically allowed to turn off the webcam if he needed a moment of privacy. And I don't think many people were just sitting on the webcam at 2 a.m. being like, hope that guy's still in there. You know, like that motherfucker better be in there.
Sure.
Like, I swear to God. Like, you know, so I imagine it was probably fine when he like turned the webcam off for a minute. I know he did. Okay, so the only time he did get to leave the doghouse was during business hours. He was allowed to go use the restroom. Like, he didn't have to like piss and shit in the doghouse.
I wasn't concerned about business hours.
So I think he would basically just try and dehydrate himself so he didn't like need to use the restroom and would just try and sleep.
12 hours at a stretch?
Yeah.
No wonder he was so fucking haggard at the end.
He was fucked up, dude. And again, maybe it wasn't 12. It might have been 10. Maybe they opened at 7, closed at 9, opened at 7. It couldn't have been less. It couldn't have been
There's no way a PetSmart was open till 10, I'll tell you that much.
No, and summer hours, like, at best it was 9 hours, but it was probably 12. They probably closed at 9, opened at 9. That's my guess. That's department store hours.
I could see fucking close at 8, open at 8, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, close at 8, open at 10, you know, like fucking...
Yeah. Totally.
What a beast.
Yeah.
Like, my bladder almost could have never handled that at any point in my life, you know?
What did he eat? That's the only other thing I really want
so
to
his
know.
wife,
How did he eat?
his wife just brought him food.
Okay, well, already, like, I'm out. Like, if he's not going to eat dog food, then... Like...
I know, right? So many people were like, well, is he eating dog food? And I'm like, come on, no. And they would be kind of like, oh, all right.
God, what a bad idea! Like, holy shit!
Fucking terrible idea, right?
What a fucking lunatic! Yeah. So I just had to figure out like how long he was stuck in there overnight.
I do remember one night. He turned the webcam off for the whole night, and his wife stayed with him in the doghouse.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I thought that was quite weird. And that was like 6-7 days in, so he must have been rank as shit. So like, I don't know what happened in that doghouse, but like, couldn't have been anything good.
She's like, "Oh, you smell like a dog."
Yeah, but we both like dogs, so.
Okay, yeah, let's stop there. Jesus Christ.
So I'm sitting there just watching the whole thing go down. I'm sitting at my table, and people are like asking me like, "What's with this?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's living in there."
Oh my God.
And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's trying to drum up money for this fucking dog park. Like, see the lengths he's going to, like." And I think that was the idea. It was like, yeah, see the lengths that this guy is going to? He'll do anything for the dog park.
He's like Castaway right now. Fucking like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, he fucking was, man. He went in one man and came out another, man. It was an Altered States sort of situation almost. Like, he was practically feral by the end of it. Like...
I like anytime it's like an endurance challenge where it's like, see how long he can do a thing. It's like, that will not end well.
Well, no, especially people who don't practice for endurance challenges. Like, David Blaine nearly lost his shit sitting in that clear box for like a week or whatever, like hanging over the London Bridge or whatever. And that dude practices for this kind of shit. This was just like Kurt from Fort Collins who was like, I'm gonna fucking live in a doghouse. Like, what a great promotional stunt.
I'm gonna live in a non-ergonomic dwelling in the middle of a fucking business for as long as I can handle it, and I'm gonna have to really tweak my bowel schedule.
And what's crazy is, like, people would get so shitty about it, because he would go take his bathroom breaks, like, during business hours, and they'd come in and they'd be like,
"Where's Dog Boy?
Yeah, where's the guy?" And I'm like, he had to use the restroom, and they're like, seriously? You know, and they'd just be like, okay, I guess it's not a real endurance challenge then, you know, and just like be shitty about it. And it's like,
do you expect him to shit on the AstroTurf?
It's
and
like,
have
but
us
that's
hose
what
it
people
off?
fucking,
Like,
that's what people want. They're like, that doghouse better be filled with shit. Otherwise, fuck this guy.
wow.
You know? Like,
wow.
yeah.
Also, but I mean, like, can you blame them?
Well, so, like, literally, though, I mean, it's like, you don't do this stuff because people, like, want you to fare well, right? No. Like, nobody goes and watches, like, a stuntman because they want them to, like, pull it off. Like, they want, like, that chance of them crashing.
Right.
And that's, like, what this shit is, man. You're gonna, like, do this stunt, and people just only want to see, like, the worst outcome of it because people are morbid and weird.
And I'm sure he probably did, like, walk-a-thon fucking mileage for it, where it's just like, if I stay in for this many days, you pay this amount for these many days. And it wasn't, like, ramping it. Because, like,
no.
That's what you have to do for an endurance challenge. It's
right,
like,
totally.
You know?
Yeah.
It doubles every day.
Yeah, and there was that element to it, but I think primarily the reason he did it was just because they partnered with the radio station. So the radio station, I mean, throughout their whole day, the DJs were, like, instructed to give updates of, like, Dog Boy's still in there. He's been in there for fucking
I still can't
196 hours. Like, holy shit.
Believe, like, how fucking, like, how many layers there are to this. Like, this never should have been greenlit in the first place.
No. And why PetSmart, like, signed off on it and was like, yeah, this sounds fine. Like, you can live in the airlock.
Right? It sounds like it was just a fucking, like, it was just like a fucking staring contest on every level where, like, someone was just like, fuck you, you flinch first, you know? Like,
yeah, dude.
Whoa, he's not flinching. Oh, man, do we actually have to do this? Fuck. All right, well, I mean, at least the radio station's involved, like, well, that'll give it something. Some
and this is the thing. I think it got
credibility,
like, bigger than anyone expected, including me. I was like, "Oh, I'll be sitting at this PetSmart for like 2 weeks and then finding a new job." And then I'm there for a month. A week of that was this fucking poor dude, like, getting utterly wrecked in a doghouse. Like, I think he lost like 30 pounds. And he was already like a skinny guy to begin with. Like, dude, it was bad. It was really bad for him. He should not have done this.
Well, and like, what was he doing? Was he just like sitting around?
Yeah, this was like before smartphones. So he didn't like have shit to do. And he didn't have light, or like maybe he had like a little book light. I mean, he probably was sitting in there like reading books and stuff, but... And during the day, he was like sitting out in the yard, like...
Sure.
This is the hilarious thing, is because, like, he's kind of supposed to be a spokesperson. It's like, come see the dog boy. And then it's like, people would come in and be like, hey, man. And then he's supposed to try and, like, talk to them about the dog park. But he looks awful.
Yeah.
Like, he looks terrible. Like, hasn't shaved in 4 days.
Hasn't
5
slept
days.
On any kind of a cushion.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I think he had a pillow and a blanket in there and stuff, but...
But it's not a bed.
No.
Even dogs have a dog bed.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I mean, his eyes are sunken in, and like, he's not fucking clear-headed, and so he can't talk to these people about his dog park he's trying to start, dude.
Oh my god.
He just looks like a fucking homeless guy sitting in this fucking doghouse,
just
dude.
a fucking castaway.
Yeah, dude, totally.
Holy shit.
So it was just the worst idea, like, ever.
Oh my god.
Wait, how much did he raise?
I don't remember. All said, before I finally quit... Well, no, I didn't quit. like the whole thing went belly up because
of course it did.
Fucking shocker. Yeah, because they called me and they were like, yeah, you know, we're done at PetSmart, so like, sorry, like we don't need you anymore, but like if some more work comes up, we'll hit you up. And I was like, cool, no problem. I'll be in for my last check next week. And they're like, cool, no problem. Like, thanks for all your hard work and everything. We had raised quite a bit of money, and I think we had one of those little thermometers, and I think we hit the goal. It was like $100,000 or something. I think all said and done, we had hit the ideal goal, and then maybe a little bit past that. So we did kickstart this thing, technically. But I also think these people didn't understand what a plot of land and like building fucking dog haunted mansion was going to cost. Because yeah, like after they fucking like, you know, after they paid all their paid volunteers and, you know, went through the whole thing and nursed homeboy back to health.
You know? After his hospital bill.
Yeah, dude, after a fucking brief stay in the hospital with some fucking IV bags to like get some fluids back in his system. Right. I just don't think they had anything to show, and they actually didn't pay me my last check. So
I kind of thought that was
coming,
yeah.
And they completely ghosted everyone. And so I went in to pick up my last check from PetSmart and was like, hey, where's Kurt and fucking Alicia or whatever? And they're like, oh, we haven't seen them for days. And people have been asking about them. And I was like, no shit, huh? But I had their cell numbers and I'm calling them, finally get a hold of them. And I'm like, yo, so how about that last paycheck? And they're like, oh, man, like, we're so sorry. Like, we'll get that to you. Like, just give me your address. Like, we'll mail it to you. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I hope to see that in the mail in the next, like, few days. And they're like, no problem. We'll cut that out right away. Never shows, of course. No. And then I hound them. And they do keep answering every now and again. They're like, oh, man, like, look, we're just working through some accounting stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, I get it, you know. And eventually my mom, because she was so pissed that they didn't give me my last check. And I think she sent him a lawyer letter, like got her lawyer to like send them a letter.
Nice.
But they still never paid me, I don't
of
think.
Course not.
So yeah, because they didn't have it anymore. No. They'd spent all that fucking money.
Well, they're out of state anyway. I mean, like, those guys are fucking con artists, man. Like,
probably. And so that's what I'll never know. I'll never know if they were real, if they were like really wanted to start a dog park, and either that was like Jesus fueled or Coke fueled. That's a fine line that I don't know. Or if they were straight up con artists and they were just like, cool, we're off to Kentucky to start the next fucking dog park.
Like, that's how I know that they were con artists, is that they left town and that they didn't pay the last round of checks. Like,
yeah.
Like, it takes a little bit of fucking, like, criminal intelligence to realize that that's what you need to do. I mean, like, maybe they just got that fucking scared that, like, their debtors were going to come after them, that they fucking bailed.
Well, and that's...
But...
part of me thinks that they got in over their heads.
Just fundraising, like, well, that's the beauty. You can still afford to fucking pay the people that were working for you. You know?
And they did. They paid me the whole time. So then...
No, they didn't. They fucking didn't pay you the last check, which is just like con artist 101.
Yeah,
like,
I guess
you
so.
Fucking wait till the last minute, and then you bail once you got the
pull
fucking,
out on that last chunk of change.
Yeah, once you got the nut, and then you don't fucking do the last round of checks, and like, that's enough, you know.
And yeah, I mean, I guess like they run this whole 2-month campaign and walk with $30,000 or whatever, you know, and
the only mistake was actually living in the fucking doghouse after doing way too much blow one night, you know.
Yeah, I got this idea. I'm gonna live in this doghouse. That'll legitimize it,
right?
Yeah. I have
conjugal doghouse.
Exactly. Conjugal fucking doghouse.
Oh god, dude. Fucking episode title.
Oh god, right?
Yeah. So anyway, that's like the weirdest thing I've ever done for money, and kind of only tangentially to me, because I was just like talking to people about like this thing, but I watched this dude.
Dog amusement park fundraiser is definitely a weird fucking job.
Yeah, it's a pretty weird job.
And you got to watch like the fucking really shitty B-movie version of Castaway, like in the middle of a PetSmart. So
yeah, totally, man. Yeah, I don't know who the Wilson was in this situation.
You don't want to know.
I don't want to know. You're right. You're right. It was the fucking bucket he had in there that no one got to see.
Oh, airlock bucket, no.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, but like, yeah, why would you fucking do that to yourself?
Especially if you're a fucking con artist, like just
Yeah, there's
chill
better
out,
ways.
man.
There's better ways.
Chill out and let the money roll in.
And that's what made me think that they were just like, they had this idea, they just got in way over their heads, and it was a terrible idea.
They sound to me like amateur con artists.
Yeah, their first outing.
Just barely managed to pull it off.
Yeah.
You know, like what if we just fucking got the radio station and PetSmart in on this and like.
Well, right, yeah, because like I guess if you try and legitimize
Because
it,
think about it, like they probably tried to do it for like a week, just them, and they were like, shit, we need to get more people doing this because like we're taking in way more money than like we could possibly pay out. So like, let's just fucking get some people to do this for us.
Yeah,
and, like,
man.
And then they were just like, and another thing, oh my god, what if we did a fucking, we'll get the radio station, you know, like, you know.
Yeah. Dude's just like, yeah, we'll build this whole thing. We'll build this little fucking flotilla doghouse that roams around the PetSmart.
God damn it!
Yeah.
The USS doghouse. Like,
Yeah, dude, totally.
push this bitch around. God damn it!
Yeah. So, anywho, that was a fucking shitty job, but actually like a fine job until they fucking shorted me my last check.
Yeah, I mean, we've both worked worse jobs than that.
Oh yeah, I've worked way worse jobs. It was definitely just the
But
weirdest
the
one.
weirdest fucking job.
Yeah.
Hands down, dude. Like,
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, be wary of paid volunteer positions because you never know what the fuck you're gonna get into.
Right?
Because like working for a startup's weird enough. Working for a non-profit startup, like holy shit, it could be anything. Dude.
Yeah. And I tell you what, if anybody ever tells you that they want to build a dog amusement park, ask to see one of the rides.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
They had some plans. They had some ideas. There was this like monkey bar thing with like a series of ropes, you know, that the dogs could like swing on. They had the, you know, what they wanted was effectively like when you see like what are the dog shows where the dogs run like obstacle courses
Right.
and stuff. They wanted just that stuff, like ramps the dogs can run up and down, and like a little fucking water tube and like a tube they can run through and stuff.
Yeah. Shit.
It's like, all right, like that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, and again, like the kind of shit that cokeheads could come up with in an afternoon, you know? Like,
Yeah, dude.
what if we just did the Westminster Dog Show and like called it an amusement park and like
Yeah.
raised money for it? Oh my god, everyone at PetSmart would just fucking do that like right away.
Yeah, dude, totally. Man.
But then they got way too far up their own ass with this fucking doghouse Death Star shit, you know?
Oh my god, right. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, that's some weird jobs for you folks.
Damn straight.
I think we're about out of time on the fucking thing anyway, so say we just call it, yeah?
Way she goes, bud.
All right.